at least in most places. The end, maybe not so nice for some. You'll see why on the storm cutter radar view that we have across Kentuckiana. We see some heavy downpours both north and south of the river across southern portions of Clark County, not far from Henryville up toward Charlestown. Pretty heavy downpour there. Another one over toward Anchorage in northeast Jefferson County. Looking at the radar view on a wider scope, you can see those scattered storms across far eastern Meade County, northern Hardin County. It's up toward Radcliffe, back into northeast Nelson County, Bloomfield, Chaplin, seeing some showers and thunderstorms. You get the idea. Some places seeing the heavy downpours with thunder and lightning. Other places, many other places, staying dry. We'll see more of the same. I'll have that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Tens of thousands of students traded summer break for classes and now, yes, homework as Jefferson County Public Schools welcome back those students today. Some got there on different buses than usual. Way 3 News checking to make sure every student gets home safely and on time. Way 3 News reporter Cedra Mayfield live at the CB Young JCPS Service Center. And Cedra, are they getting a lot of calls there tonight?
Scott, right now, JCPS staff continue to work that 485 ride bus hotline as students continue to make their way home. They say it's not uncommon for arrival delays on the first day of school, so parents should give buses an extra 10 to 30 minutes during this evening commute. JCPS staff tell me the morning commute went smoothly for students that ride the bus. By 9:45 this morning, all elementary school buses had officially made their drop-offs, a time frame that staff say is on par with last year. Now, I'm also told that most bus depots cleared earlier this year than last year. While the JCPS hotline staff did receive a steady call of calls, employees say there were no major issues with the first day of commutes.
We expect a lot of calls on the first day, everything from parents making that last-minute phone call to make sure that they know where their student is supposed to be picked up and possibly dropped off later in the day if that changes, to a few calls of, is the bus coming, that type of thing.
The JCPS bus hotline is open until 7 o'clock for your calls. It will reopen starting at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Again, that number is 485-RIDE. Coming up on Wave 3 News at 6 o'clock, find out what one school is doing to ensure that students made it home safely on their buses and got on the right bus. For now, we're live from the CB Young Center, Cedra Mayfield, Wave 3 News.
All right, thanks, Cedra. Breaking news coming into the Wave 3 newsroom right now. The first day of school for JCPS bringing the first school bus crash. It happened at Dixie Highway and Breckenridge Street. It is bus number 1043. Children were on board, but we are not hearing of any injuries. We don't have the latest yet on what school that bus was coming from. Air 3 is flying over the scene. We'll bring you more information on that bus as soon as we get it. Well, some students had to be up before the sun today in order to get to class on time. This is video of the start of the school day at Fraser Elementary. It's on Larchmont Avenue in Louisville. Wave 3 News reporter Catherine Kington went to several area schools as students arrived.
102,000 JCPS students went back to school Tuesday morning for the 2013-2014 school year. JCPS says it was a smooth transition, and some students returned to the school they knew, while others, like students at Eastern High School, came to a new look.
I like meeting new people, and this is my first time in a new school, so.
Social studies and everything else.
Seeing my friends again.
JCPS students hustled inside to meet their new teachers and see their friends.
We'll help you find anybody else your neighbor.
Superintendent Donna Harkins and Mayor Greg Fisher went to some schools like Tully Elementary to greet their students as they came in.
Hey, go get them, guys. All right.
While parents of kindergartners at Tully Elementary were taking pictures of their new students on the first day after 2 years of construction, students at Eastern High School came to an expanded wing due to overcrowding.
The sophomores last year had to learn a new building, and now they got to learn another one. So they'll be fine. And
the expansion has a new auditorium, open hallway, library, and classrooms.
We have a lot of IT rooms and business rooms. That's our magnet program, and so we tried to expand upon those programs and give them the space they needed.
I'm super excited. I'm ready to see everyone, get my classes, get my teachers.
The expansion cost $31.8 million to build. JCPS said it was a good first day of school. Catherine Kington, Wave 3 News.
Well, for parents, one of the hardest things you will ever have to do, and I can attest to this, is drop off your kids for that first day of kindergarten. But at one school, that first goodbye was a whole lot easier this morning. Wave 3 News reporter Janelle McDonald joining us now with more on that. Tough time.
Yeah, for the parents especially, because the kids are just excited to get to class,
Unless they're crying because they don't want to leave mom and dad. That's tough too.
But mostly it's not easy for the parents of kindergartners. This morning, Middletown Elementary hosted its annual Boo-Hoo Breakfast.
We've had a few tears.
The breakfast serves as a chance for parents to celebrate their children's first day while saying goodbye. Moms and dads get to make the morning drop-off just a little bit easier of a transition for their kids by having breakfast together in the school library. Parents know it's hard turning your child over to someone else, so that's one of the reasons why the event was created years ago.
There's always a couple with tears. There's always kind of some with pom-poms cheering that are like, yeah, right. But mostly everybody's just happy and excited. It's just a neat way for parents to kind of ease into the school year instead of just having to drop their kids off at the front door and say, see you later, especially with the kindergartners. Kind of gives them an opportunity to talk with people in the same situation.
Now, the school does say this event is great for parents because they also get to meet the parents of other kindergartners. School officials say that normally makes parents want to be maybe more involved with the school and a bigger part of their children's education as well.
That really does help. You connect, and then maybe you start inviting them over on the weekend or for birthday parties or get-togethers with the kids, and it does help the involvement.
Parents help choose the friends at first.
That's right. All right, thanks, Janelle. Well, we do have breaking news again coming into the Wave 3 newsroom on that school bus crash that happened at Dixie and Breckenridge. We're told it's a non-injury accident right now, but it was a loaded school bus, number 1043. JCPS school bus 1043. We're still working to get information on what school that bus departed from JCPS, but that loaded bus was hit by a car, we're told, and that vehicle kept on going. MetroSafe is calling it a hit and run, but again, no injuries to report there at Dixie Highway and Breckenridge Street. New this year, as students head back to class, the planning process to protect them in an emergency is getting a little more focused. The Kentucky General Assembly passing a school safety measure that now requires all schools to file emergency plans with local emergency responders. Today, we went to a school to find out how it works and what it means to your child in an emergency. Today, Louisville firefighters spent hours battling a train car fire. The train stopped on the tracks near 34th and Market just before 9 and caught fire. We're told insulation on that train was burning. No health concerns, though. At one point, it did flare up, but as we said, crews were able to keep that fire from spreading. Well, still ahead, panic at an elementary school. Shots ring out, forcing students to flee, and a suspect is behind bars. The prosecution rests in the trial of an Army major accused in a shooting spree at Fort Hood, and workers at a daycare fired for what they're accused of posting on a social media site.
I was sitting there watching Outlaw Josie Wales with my dad, and the phone rang. The coroner called, and then I knew it was serious. I saw the imprint of her skull in the windshield where I realized how bad it could have been. Brianna's close friends, they went to the back loading dock where Brianna is to be dropped off, and they all rushed out and surprised her and hugged her. I wanted to do this story to show people how good people can be. We plan too much for the future, and we don't realize that things are really, really important. Sharing a moment with your daughter, sometimes even in silence.
Hi, Ron Sherman for America's Window, serving the Kentuckiana area for years, putting the best products on your house. I want you to watch this demonstration. Take a look in Studio B. Look at the flat insulation hollow back siding the other guys use. There's not any support. Look at our siding with the contoured foam. See how solid it is? And now look at a house without it. See those ugly gaps and seams? Look at ours. We virtually eliminate the gaps and seams, and right now you can have the ultimate wall system on your home and take advantage of our half-off labor sale. Ask about convenient credit terms. You know, here at America's Window, we're going to work with you. And look at this free attic insulation with the purchase of the siding, which will help save you more on your energy bill. And if you call in today, you're going to get your largest energy bill this month paid up to $300 with the purchase of siding and insulation. Why don't you call right now at 1-800-304-3288. Only 2 weeks left to register in our Smart Car Giveaway drawing coming up Saturday, September 7th. Go to americaswindowusa.com right now to register.
Police have a suspect in custody right now after shots were fired at a Georgia elementary school this afternoon. That shooting happened around 1 o'clock at Ronald E. McNair Discovery Learning Academy. It's in an Atlanta suburb. Police say the gunman got into the school by walking in behind someone who was authorized to be in that school. But fortunately, no one was injured. Police say the gunman fired shots from inside the school. Officers actually fired back. A motive still not clear. A fractured skull, a damaged ear, and bullet wounds through the mouth and face. Those are the injuries the surviving Boston bombing suspect had when he was captured back in April. That information revealed in newly released court documents. It's not clear whether the 20-year-old inflicted any of those injuries on himself or suffered them in his showdown with police at that home. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is charged with killing 4 people in the Boston Marathon bombing. More than 200 people were injured. Tsarnaev still awaiting trial. Military prosecutors have rested their case against the Army psychiatrist charged in the 2009 shooting rampage at Fort Hood. Prosecutors wrapped up their case today during the military trial of Major Nadal Hassan. He's accused of killing 13 people and wounding more than 30 others at the Texas military post. Hassan acting as his own attorney in this case. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. Well, a couple of daycare workers are out of a job after posting pictures of the children in their care on Instagram.
I found out through a mutual friend who just happened to be Instagram friends with her. So she came upon the picture and said, "This looks a lot like Ethan."
Well, not only were the workers posting those pictures, this mother says the workers were making fun of her son. On one picture, the workers poked fun at this boy's delayed speech development, writing in part, "Thinking, 'cause sure can't talk." The workers have since been fired, and the Virginia Department of Social Services now investigating. Well, tonight we've got a Way 3 consumer alert for parents thinking of buying a tablet during your back-to-school shopping. They're so handy, and retailers pointing their fingers at our cooler than normal summer weather for a big drop in profits. We'll tell you why.
Scattered storms are on the radar across Kentucky, and a few places getting those heavy downpours while many others are staying dry. We'll have a repeat performance tomorrow before drier weather rolls in. We'll check that out in the breakdown.
Louisville, are you looking for an adventure of a lifetime? Come to Mega Zips. Mega Zips is an all-underground tour that features 6 zip lines and 2 challenge bridges.
This is gonna be big. Make it
Siding looked terrible, and when they put this on, I mean, I just had to come out and keep looking at it. It looked so good while they were doing it. After they were doing it, we just stood out here and looked at it. I mean, it was really beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. You're going to love our work here at America's Window. We've said this before. We're a debt-free company. We're going to do everything we're supposed to and a little bit more. And now's the time to call in during our half-off labor sale. Convenient credit terms to work with you to fit your budget. And look at this, a bonus. Free attic insulation to help save you even more energy dollars to make your home even more energy efficient. And if you call this month and buy, you get the siding insulation, you get the bonus with the free attic insulation. Also, you're going to get your largest utility bill paid up to $300. Now would be a great time to call America's Window during our half-off labor sale. Only 2 weeks left to register in our Smart Car Giveaway drawing coming up Saturday, September 7th. Go to americaswindowusa.com right now to register.
I'm Matt Bevin, and I approve this message.
After pushing the Wall Street bailout through the U.S. Senate, Mitch McConnell bragged.
This has been the Senate at its finest.
And what are fact checkers saying about mudslinging Mitch's latest attacks on conservative Matt Bevin? Misleading. Doesn't add up. Like Obama campaign attacks. After 30 years in Washington, voting for one bailout after another, slinging mud is all Senator McConnell has left.
Families come in all shapes and sizes, and they can sometimes surprise you. But one thing's for sure, the great food and low prices you'll find at Kroger will leave a little extra money in your pocket for those things that make family, well, family.
You'll find great weekly specials at Kroger. Treat your family to a juicy, tender, half-boneless New York strip for just $4.99 a pound. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
Hey, Louisville, for a limited time, Mega Zips is offering $10 off your Monday through Thursday adventure tour. There has never been a better time to check this place out.
This is gonna be big. Make it count.
And we have an update on that breaking news of a JCPS school bus crash that happened on Dixie Highway and Breckenridge Street. 16 students on board, no report of any injuries, and just a scratch on that bus number 1043. And that bus coming from Coleridge Taylor Elementary on Chestnut. Again, 16 students were on board, but no injuries to report on bus 1043. It happened at 4:49, and MetroSafe telling us it's a hit and run because the car that collided with that bus took off. We'll keep you up to date. Employers like the White House who rely on unpaid interns are getting a wake-up call. A new grassroots lobby is calling on President Obama to set an example to other agencies and companies by paying interns. It's called the Fair Pay Campaign and will launch around Labor Day. They say they are focusing on the president as he has been stumping for raising the minimum wage all summer. A spokesman for the group says working for no pay is unimaginable considering the rise in student loans. Now to a Wave 3 News consumer alert. The search for a cheaper back-to-school tablet or computer could land you on a counterfeit website. Brand protection firm Mark Monitor found more than 23,000 listings for counterfeit, cloned, or gray market tablet computers in just one day. So be careful what you search for. Adding cheap or discount can increase your chances of actually finding a fraud. If the deal seems too good to be true, it likely is. Make sure you check out that seller's reputation. Low-cost airline Allegiant Air announcing a major expansion. Plans now to serve even more East Coast markets. The carrier adding 18 new routes. Allegiant Air has had success serving those smaller airports, especially those in warm weather destinations. With the expansion, Allegiant will now serve 99 airports across the country. They do fly in and out of Lexington, but so far, not Louisville. Well, the nation's biggest retailers have been concerned that consumers aren't spending much these days. And they also blame the weather in part, but how much could a hot summer or a chilly fall affect sales? CNBC's Courtney Reagan with the story.
It's been a cool, wet summer for many regions of the country, and that's hitting retailers' bottom lines. Recently, a number of retailers, including Macy's and behemoth Walmart, have cited cooler late spring and early summer weather for crimping sales of warm weather goods, resulting in larger than expected markdowns. Good for consumers looking for a deal, but bad news for stores looking to build profits. It's certainly harder to sell shorts and swimsuits when shoppers have goosebumps from the cold temperatures outside. But summer is almost over, and the cooler weather is being welcomed by retailers hoping to sell corduroys and sweaters at full price for back to school. The Weather Channel forecasts the weather this fall will be more typical for the season, a far cry from last year's warm temperatures, an extension of the hottest summer in 110 years. A normal fall will be welcome news for the Gap, Macy's, and Kohl's.
The net benefit is not going to be a direct relation of the weather as much as it is the sentiment change that this cool weather has caused, meaning all of a sudden when we're waking up in the morning and have to put on a sweatshirt and it's early August, that basically then translates into people thinking that they need to start getting ready for back to school.
If it's a little cooler, I'll, start thinking about bringing out winter gear, but try to avoid it for as long as I can.
I could probably use a couple more long sleeve shirts.
I am climate driven, yes.
Not until I'm sitting there freezing cold and I realize I have nothing to wear. So when that happens, I'll probably run to the store and do something.
While kids going back to school hope for a late summer surge, retailers are anxious for the thermometers to drop. The lower the temperatures in the fall, the higher the profit margins for retailers. Courtney Reagan, CNBC.
Yeah, just blame the weather for everything, right?
Yeah, or give it credit, right?
Right, because like Indiana State Fair setting a record. We heard that yesterday. Kentucky State Fair numbers got to be doing really well.
Sure.
And could maybe set a record this year. So, the weather always plays a role in everything we do, really.
Cooler temperatures make a difference, and especially when you get the cooler temperatures not matched up with the rain. We've just cooled down 2 or 3 degrees here in Louisville, but it's because of the rain around the area. So folks that may be headed out tonight may have to take the umbrella. I'm going to show you where that will be needed. It's spotty, but it's out there. You can see the rain and even a few thunderstorms dotting the radar view outside this evening, especially as you work your way outside of Jefferson County. Some places here have even had a few showers up toward Anchorage. There you see Prospect, down across southwest Jefferson County over toward PRP. Rain not too far from you. Take you on a little radar tour here as we go around, zoom in just across the river. This is across portions of Clark County down into Floyd County. You can see some heavier showers and thunderstorms up toward Carr. That will continue there, and another band of storms pushing across northern parts of Washington County. This not too far from Plattsburgh, as you can see. Bono there. Many areas, as we check the radar view, see these heavy downpours, but they're not moving very far, they're not moving very fast, and consequently, some areas see the rain, many others will stay dry, including folks off to our south in Spencer County, south of Taylorsville. It's northeast Nelson County, from Bloomfield over to Chaplin, and then back across the metro area again. We are mainly rain-free at this point, but a few scattered storms still possible as we go through the evening. Show this view to you so you can see the cloud cover associated with it, as well as the lightning strikes. So we do have a few thunderstorms embedded in there. The SkyTrack camera out of Elizabethtown looking north, so this would be toward Vine Grove, up toward Radcliffe. Yeah, raining pretty good there. You can see that, and even a few showers coming into portions of Elizabethtown as we speak. Here's the deal. The rain chance stands fairly small over the next several days, but heavy downpours will be possible wherever they take place, but many areas will stay dry, so we'll just have to be prepared for that. With a cloud cover outside tonight, many areas will not have the opportunity to see the full moon. At 9:45, we have the full sturgeon moon, the full green corn, or the full grain moon, whichever you choose to call it. It'll be out there in the sky tonight. Outside, looking around Kentuckiana, our temperature here in Louisville, 83 degrees right now. That's down from our high today of 85. You can see normal would be 88 and 68. We were right on target at the bus stop this morning. If you're headed out to the fair tonight, a few isolated storms possible through 8, 9 o'clock, and then just a partly cloudy sky. Consequently, the best part of the day tomorrow will be in the morning at the bus stop at 69 degrees. You won't need the jacket early on, but you may need the umbrella on the return home. There is a scattered storm chance across the area. Temperature tops out around 86 degrees. Looking around Kentuckiana, you can see those scattered storms that will continue for just a bit longer this evening. Our low drops down to 69 degrees. Areas of fog, can't rule it out overnight tonight. 30% storm chance during the day tomorrow, 86. And in the breakdown, we keep that slight storm chance in Thursday and Friday. We're back near 90 as we head throughout the weekend and early next week. Scott?
All right, thanks, Kevin. Another government stalemate is brewing in Washington. This is between Republicans and Democrats, and how their fight could affect you. And the only undefeated NFL team in history pays a visit to the White House. It's been more than 40 years after that incredible season.
Take a look at how tough our ultimate wall system is. You can run over it with a truck. We're talking about a system that looks and feels like wood on your house. 1 inch plus of contoured foam fused to the siding, guaranteed not to pull apart. Lots of colors to choose from. Call us right now during our half-off labor sale. That's right, half-off labor sale this month only. 1-800-304-3288. Convenient credit terms. You know us here at America's Window. We've been around for years. We're going to work with you. 9414 Highway 62 in Charlestown. And look at the bonus, free attic insulation. You know how hot it gets in the attic. This attic insulation will make a big difference. It's free with the siding if you call in this month and buy. And if you call right now, you're going to get your largest utility bill up to $300 paid this month by us. That's money back in your pocket. You're going to have the best looking house on the block. You can count on us. Why don't you call America's Window now? Go to americaswindowusa.com to register. Only 2 weeks left in the Smart Car giveaway drawing coming up Saturday, September 7th. I could be pulling your name out.
Right now at Burger King, greet the day with 2 croissant sandwiches for $3.33. All with fluffy eggs and melted cheese on a flaky croissant. Choose from sausage, bacon, and ham. With 2 croissant sandwiches for just $3.33. The day starts right here at Burger King, where taste is king.
At Bluegrass Cellular, we make connecting with those that matter the most as easy as can be. Our fast wireless internet service gives you the ability to turn your house into a powerful 4G hotspot instantly with our BandLux router. Now only $99.99. Come put our wireless services to the test today and receive $20 off your monthly service fee. Or shop anytime at bluegrasscellular.com. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
Hey, Kentuckiana, Oxmoor Mazda has moved 2 doors down to 7913 Shelbyville Road. And in preparation of our renovations, we're having a moving sale. New Mazda 3s lease for $149 per month. Or lease the all-new 2014 Mazda CX-5 SUV for $229 per month. And the all-new 2014 Mazda 6, lease for just $229 per month. Hurry for our pre-renovation moving sale at Oxmoor Mazda, 7913 Shelbyville Road, and oxmoormazda.com.
Dr. Beiser's Vision World is now VisionWorks. Buy 1 pair of glasses, get 1 free. Any frames, any lenses, or a single vision pair is just $49.95. Find more than a pair of glasses. Find a better you. VisionWorks.
President Obama's health care law still dividing the nation, but now it's dividing the Republican Party. The issue is how hard to fight the president's signature plan and whether to hold the rest of the government hostage in the process. Steve Handelsman with the latest now from Capitol Hill.
Scott, good evening from Washington, where most Republicans are not on board, but some say they would shut down government to stop Obamacare. With just 6 weeks till the start of sign-up for Obamacare, some Republicans want to vote to pull the plug.
This is an urgent time to stop what we think is a very destructive law.
Former South Carolina Senator Jim DeMint and Texas Senator Ted Cruz joining forces this week
to repeal every single word of Obamacare.
Now they're pushing Congress to cut off funding for the health care plan while paying for every other federal program. But an Obama veto is certain, and he's sure to charge Republicans would shut down government. Fearful of a voter backlash, Republican leaders, Boehner, McConnell, McCain, are warning Cruz and company to back off, and the party chair is nervous.
And yes, our party has come up with multiple ways to protect Americans from the consequences of Obamacare.
Meanwhile, states like California are promoting Obamacare. A website, Covered California, is walking families through what they'd pay and trying to convince so-called invincibles, young, healthy 20-somethings, that they should buy insurance for under $100 a month.
It's nice to see somebody's looking out for the little guy.
Pro-Obamacare ads are dueling with new ads opposing the plan.
Our jobs and wages are threatened.
But the biggest duel now is between Republicans. It's gotten so nasty, the conservative Heritage Foundation will run ads targeting Republicans seen to be backing down against Obamacare. From Capitol Hill, I'm Steve Handelsman. Wave 3 News. Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. And the argument still goes on. Will costs go up or down? Will you be able to keep your same doctor? Still some of the arguments that were going on when that bill was passed. Still ahead here at 5:30, it's a festival normally filled with good times and fun for the whole family, but a conflict tonight involving the Heartland Parade in Elizabethtown. And the University of Kentucky announces its list of inductees to the university's Hall of Fame.
Choose an innovative new Nissan Altima and get more ways to see. Now with model year-end savings. Hit the bottom line on Altima with 0% APR financing. Shop at choosenissan.com.
Injury, stroke, or surgery does not have to be debilitating. At American Senior Communities, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward rehabilitation. With the full range of physical, occupational, and speech therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live their life on their own terms.
Hillcrest is just doing a marvelous job of taking care of their residents, making sure that they get their rehab. They read, they play board games, they have movie nights. They just, she's having a ball.
Our therapists are trained and committed to your loved one's success, caring people who really make a difference.
For more information about Clark Rehabilitation and Skilled Nursing Center, Clarksville, Hillcrest Village, Jeffersonville, Riverview Village, Clarksville, or Salem Crossing, Salem, visit ascseniorcare.com today.
These days in Washington, there are people who like to talk, and leaders like Mitch McConnell who know how to get results. Working hard in the Senate to cut government and grow Kentucky's economy, Mitch McConnell is a strong supporter of small business, expanding domestic energy and manufacturing, and he fights for our family farms. Less government, more jobs. Call and tell Mitch McConnell his leadership in Washington is making a difference here at home.
Buying eyeglasses is personal. Do they make me look too old? Should I get the red ones? Most glasses will improve your vision, but the right glasses are an extension of your personality. Dr. Beiser's Vision World is now VisionWorks. Buy one pair of glasses, get one free. Any frames, any lenses, or a single vision pair is just $49.95. VisionWorks, where you'll find more than a pair of glasses. You'll find a better you.
Choose an innovative Nissan Rogue and get more ways to see. Now with model year-end savings, get the bottom line on Nissan Road and save up to $5,300. Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Right now at 5:30, it's an annual event that draws thousands of people to Hardin County every year. But tonight, a little bit of festival fallout in Elizabethtown.
The first day of school is always a little unsettling. Tonight we'll take you to a special school where students have a reason for extra first day jitters.
And if you're planning to travel during the long Labor Day weekend, you're going to have lots of company.
Live in high definition, this is Wave 3 News.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us at 5:30. I'm Janelle McDonald.
And I'm Dawn G. When you think of parades, floats, bands, fancy cars come to mind, right? Well, that's what you typically expect to see.
A Wave 3 News viewer, however, contacted us saying his group wanted to be part of the Heartland Festival in the Park parade in Elizabethtown this weekend, but was turned away because they don't fit the festival image. Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari explains.
The Sinister Tombs Haunted House in Eastview says that they haven't been able to take part in the parade that kicks off the festival since 2011. The festival says there's a reason for that. There isn't a lot of traffic on Meeting Creek Road in Hardin County. So if you haven't been out here, you probably haven't heard of the Sinister Tombs Haunted House.
As I say, we've got a lot of stuff where we're working on building new.
Marvin Skaggs runs the place.
We opened up in 2001.
Oh, okay.
It's probably easier to get into the vampire room.
One of the main ways he gets the word out that this place exists.
House, we try to get in every parade we can.
Parades like the Heartland Festival in the Park in Elizabethtown. It's been around for more than 30 years. The family-friendly event draws thousands to Hardin County. Skaggs says he promoted his haunted house at the parade from 2001 through 2011. He says his people have been dressed in their spooky costumes for years. In 2010, he said parade officials told him to tone down the scariness because some children at the parade got scared. He says he did. Were kids scared?
No, we had kids coming up and taking pictures with us. We had the devil riding in the back of the hearse, and we had the Undertaker. That was the only scary costumes we had.
Last year when Skaggs tried to take part in the parade, he says he was told he couldn't, and the same thing happened this year. He shared this letter from parade officials that says his entry is too scary and doesn't promote the theme of the festival, which is my hometown. Skaggs says it's upsetting to him because money generated from the haunted house goes to upkeep, and he gives back to local charities.
We were down about 500 people last year compared to the year before.
We contacted Elizabethtown events coordinator Sarah Vaughn. She told us to her knowledge the entry could be flexible, but Sinister Tombs would still include the scary characters or some type of tie-in to their haunted house. That's why they were denied. Skaggs says he even offered to have his group be dressed as superheroes and leave the scariness behind to be a part of the parade. And Skaggs says he plans on appealing the denial. The city of Elizabethtown says they have plenty of Halloween-themed events in October that Sinister Tombs can be a part of. From Hardin County, Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
Well, we want to know what you think. Should Sinister Tombs Haunted House be a part of the festival parade? You can sound off right now on the Wave 3 News Facebook page. And if you're going to this weekend's Heartland Festival, look for the Wave 3 News storm tracking team. They'll be part of that parade route. Well, tonight at the Kentucky State Fair, country singer Clay Walker is on stage, and that's free. Walker and special guest Parma Lee will be the free concert at the Old Cardinal Stadium. The World Championship Horse Show also continues in Freedom Hall. Tickets are required for that event. The fair continues through Sunday, and we've got a list of daily events on our website. Also, we want to see your fair pictures. Send them to us at pics@wave3.com. That's PIX@wave3.com.
Well, we got a lot of other pictures today because today students across Metro Louisville went back to school. Starting school is tough enough. As we take a look from Air 3 now, well, we still have school buses on the road, and it's only, well, about 5:35. We didn't have too many problems, and it looks like the roads are pretty clear. As we said, it's tough enough to start school, but imagine going to class and you cannot speak English. At Shawnee Academy, there is a special program dedicated to helping students who use English as a second language. Wave 3 News photojournalist James Thomas takes us inside the Newcomer Academy.
Good morning. My name is Eric Bookstrom. My students call me Mr. Book. I'm from the United States. and welcome to our class.
This is the first day for students brand new to the United States.
Good morning, my name is Yarixa. I am from Cuba. I'm from Colombia.
I am from Cuba. I'm from Burma.
This is a wonderful opportunity to present the United States and our community to brand new students.
What is the most important thing in school? If Laura is asking for help, and I say, "Hey, Laura, shut up!" then I'm not respectful, right?
Yeah.
And she will feel angry with me, and she will not listen to me because I am not respectful.
I speak Spanish, little English. It's a good teacher, so he needs your students. So you need my help? Okay, come on, come on. So it's very good teacher. I like their class.
Some students have seen a lot of things that they shouldn't have had to see, basically, before.
Nobody in Burma has the name Arnaldo, right? Or Arturo, or Mr. Book. Nobody. So he has to learn every name like a new word, okay? And she is? K-P, right. And he is Mr. Book. Very good. Can we just give him a round of applause?
ESL Newcomer Academy students transition to another middle or high school with an ESL program after 1 to 3 semesters, and there are lots of languages now in school. And some JCPS students at Hawthorne Elementary began the school year in Español.
La boca de David tiene que hacer un dibujo de la boca grande.
Hawthorne Elementary is the only JCPS elementary to include a Spanish immersion program. Starting in kindergarten, students spend half the day learning entirely in Spanish. The other half of the day, they are taught in English. The goal of the program is for students to have a high proficiency level in reading, writing, and Spanish by the time they reach the 5th grade.
And what we know is that it changes the dynamics of their brain, that their right and left brains are activated by being second language learners, and it makes them smarter in all areas.
Para mí es muy difícil, is what I would say. Schools leaders say that they'd like to see the program expand to include more JCPS schools and additional languages.
The newly Metro-appointed Director of Safe Neighborhoods will be the featured speaker at tonight's District 12 Dialogue. Anthony Smith will talk about the goal of the new department, and he will take questions about what efforts are being made to keep neighborhoods safe. That dialogue begins tonight. It is at 7 o'clock, and it's at Conway Middle School, as you can see on your screen there. That's on Terry Road. A police department's plea for help to find a missing teenager. Today, the Clarksville Police Chief sent us a photo and asked us to put it on our air. Police say 14-year-old Brianna Mahoney was last seen Sunday just before midnight. She's believed to be somewhere in the Portland area, but she has friends throughout the Louisville metro area. So anyone with information about Brianna's whereabouts is asked to call Clarksville Police.
The University of Kentucky releases the newest list of Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to tell you about that list.
It not only took 4 decades for the only undefeated NFL team in history to actually make it to the White House.
I was sitting there watching Outlaw Josie Wales with my dad, and the phone rang, the coroner called, and then I knew it was serious. I saw the imprint of her skull in the windshield where I realized how bad it could have been. Brianna's close friends, they went to the back loading dock where Brianna is to be dropped off, and they all rushed out and surprised her and hugged her. I wanted to do this story to show people how good people can be. We plan too much for the future, and we don't realize that things are really, really important. Sharing a moment with your daughter, sometimes even in silence.
You've got an idea, you want savings. You think you want selection too, plus quality through and through. Now you're thinking smart with Craig and Landry Cars.
Your roof still looks good, so why worry? Because your roof could have hidden storm damage. So call the experts at Frederick Roofing. Family owned and operated, Frederick Roofing has been keeping Kentucky and Indiana dry for over 45 years. So you know they'll be here long after the storm. Frederick Roofing is a TAMCO Pro certified contractor offering a free 30-year full replacement warranty on your new roof. Call right now and get a free gas card with every new roof. Don't wait. Call Frederick Roofing now at 451-3992.
You've got an idea, you want savings. You think you want selection too, plus quality through and through. Now you're thinking smart with Craig and Landry cars.
Now, streaming live on mobile, this is Wave 3 News at 5:30.
The University of Kentucky Athletics Hall of Fame has announced its 2013 class of inductees. On the list this year is men's basketball star Rex Chapman, who played for the Cats from 1986 to 88, making more than 1,000 career points. He was a two-time All-SEC first-team selection. He was selected in the 8th overall in the 1988 draft by the Charlotte Hornets. Also on that list, former men's basketball coach Tubby Smith, who of course led the team to its 7th national title. They'll be joined by 80s football player Oliver Barnett, 80s basketball standout Leslie Nichols, as well as All-American track star and former coach Press Whalen, and 5-time All-American tennis player Jesse Witten.
A University of Football fan is showing his Cardinal pride on his front lawn. Charlie Blair sent us this picture showing his painting on the lawn. That's pretty good, of his Okolona home. Shows a Cardinal wearing a Teddy Bridgewater #5 jersey. It also has a picture of the state of Kentucky, but it reads state of Louisville. It's okay. Most likely a jab at the school of Interstate 64. That's what we're thinking.
Well, some would say it's been a long time coming. After 41 years, the 1972 Miami Dolphins are finally getting their due with a trip to the White House to celebrate their perfect season. Today, President Obama honored the only team ever to achieve an undefeated season in the NFL. The 72 Dolphins went 17-0 that year, but they didn't get a chance to celebrate their victory with a trip to the White House because if you remember what was going on in 72, President Nixon too involved in the Watergate scandal at the time.
Yeah, too much going on, and then he had to say
goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, this Labor Day, more Americans will hit the road since the start of the recession.
We're going to take a look at your travel forecast coming up next.
And speaking of forecast, we've got some rain showing up on the radar and a few of the SkyTrack cams from across Kentucky. And if you're headed out this evening, some areas going to need that umbrella. We'll take you through the work week forecast when we come back.
Who's driving to be the #1 Ford dealer in Louisville? Byerly Ford. Right now, buy a new 2013 Ford Focus for $13,988, or a new 2013 Ford Fusion for just $19,988, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select models. Save big on Dixie at Byerly Ford, located off the Watterson on Dixie Highway. Byerly Ford, driving to be the #1 Ford dealer in Louisville.
Nobody beats a Byerly deal.
Labor Day. At Cherry House, it's the beginning of incredible furniture savings. Don't miss the big Labor Day event at Cherry House Galleries. We want to say thank you to America's workforce with 50% off MSRP on everything in our store. That's a flag-waving 50% off. Plus, get 12 months same as cash. And remember, Cherry House has been in business and owned by the same family for nearly half a century. And we'll continue to be here to stand behind everything we sell. Come celebrate your savings at the big Labor Day event at Cherry House Galleries, where even the price is beautiful.
Problems house training your pet? Marking territory, females in heat, incontinence? Introducing the patented Dogsy Dog Shirt, a cotton spandex body shirt with a sewn-in absorbent lining and waterproof backing. No more buying disposable pads that slip out of place. These washable shirts are used over and over to encourage your pet to hold it, but absorb and contain if an accident occurs, making it impossible to get the scent in your home. Starting at $19.99. Get yours today at Dogsy.com or call 502-348-1219.
The excitement is growing across the bluegrass because now every Kentucky lottery game can earn points for prizes when you join Kentucky's Fun Club Rewards. It's free. Sign up today at kylottery.com.
Logan's Roadhouse ribs, they're oh so good. Gonna cook all night, then grill them up hot and right. Logan's Roadhouse ribs.
Bob started saving energy and money with fluorescent light bulbs. Then he saved even more by switching to the Culligan High Efficiency Water Softener. It's the world's most efficient water softener. It saves you up to 46% on operating costs, and that can save you energy.
Here's what's coming up on Wave 3 News tonight at 6, including a story that has us looking for answers. If the city spends millions of dollars every year to keep vacant homes from looking bad, how can weeds grow as tall as a man in some neighborhoods? And the cards hit the songbook instead of the playbook at practice today. We'll take you there for some of that fun tonight at 6.
Better finances on the home front mean more Americans are likely to hit the road over the upcoming Labor Day weekend.
At least that's according to the projection of the AAA Motor Club. So we've got to look ahead about a week and a half from NBC's Chris Clackham.
Whether by flying or by driving, an overall optimism about the economy has more Americans willing to travel this summer.
You got more money to spend elsewhere when you make a trip somewhere.
It's the reason why AAA projects at least 1 million more people than last year will travel over the Labor Day weekend this year.
Have a good flight.
And the brightest spot in the economy giving the biggest boost is an improving housing market.
For many Americans, their home is their largest asset, and as prices begin to rise across the country, consumers are feeling more confident about planning a vacation.
The Travel Club expects 34 million Americans to journey 50 miles or more from home over Labor Day holiday, the vast majority by car. So it's a good thing gas prices are cooperating.
Gas prices are like 30 cents cheaper than they were a few months ago, and so that's what, another gallon I get every, 50, 60 bucks I spend.
Gas prices are also cooperating, averaging about $3.50 a gallon nationwide. They're lower than what they were Labor Day weekend last year, and even lower than 5 years ago when a gallon cost $3.63 headed into Labor Day weekend 2008. If the optimism keeps up, AAA and others expect the increase in travel to continue through the holidays at the end of the year. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Tell you what, it's hard to believe that summer is almost over. Where has it gone?
I've got some of my Christmas shopping done.
What? No, you don't. You are making that up.
First time ever in my whole life.
I was going to say, we know way better than that.
I feel pretty good.
Are you kidding me?
I'm feeling good. I'm just bragging. I'm just saying.
Right.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah,
I forget
like
where I
6 months
put it
now.
between now and then.
The old goose is dead. Isn't that a song?
Yes, I think it is, but please don't sing it.
You better move on.
Anyway, yeah, I'm still trying to think of what song that is. Hey, we've been watching the radar, and we do have a few thunderstorms that are producing lightning across the area. I know some kids are like, hey, I've got practice outside tonight. Are we going to be able to have it? Most areas, yes. It's very isolated where these storms have developed throughout the afternoon. They're not moving very fast, but some places will get the heavy rain and consequently the lightning showing up as well. You can see across portions of Washington County, southern Jackson County. That's up near Salem. And then further to the south as you work your way across southern portions of Washington County into northern portions of Scott County and Clark County, seeing a few showers and thunderstorms there. You notice I overlaid the lightning here so you can see where the lightning strikes are occurring. That is taking place in a number of the clusters of these storms that are across the area. We'll just zoom into a few here. You'll notice across portions of southern Indiana, the thunderstorms are with us. Down to the south, across northern portions of Hardin County, moving over into parts of Bullitt, Spencer, and Shelby County, seeing a few of these downpours as well. General movement is off to the north, so they are moving at least a little bit. That should eliminate any kind of flash flooding that would take place. They're moving fast enough not to allow that to happen, but some areas going to get some pretty decent downpours over the next couple of hours here. Once the sun sets, this activity should come to an end. Throughout the evening hours, we'll see that temperature drop on off back through the 70s. Over the next 14 days, that trend holds us very close to normal. That would be in the upper 80s as we move throughout the next 2 weeks. That takes us into September. Yeah, hard to believe it's come and gone so fast. 83 outside in Louisville. That's our current reading. Fort Knox 72. Why is that? Well, rain-cooled air down at the base there and around portions of Kentuckiana. You can see it's a mix of 80s and upper 80s where they have seen more sunshine and less rain. Paducah close to 90. Same way up to Chicago, 87 degrees. Most areas around the Ohio Valley are under a mostly sunny sky. Across southern Indiana and parts of Kentucky, we're among the few seeing the clouds and the rain showers. 69 for our overnight low. Areas of fog develop late tonight. Tomorrow's high 86, a partly sunny day. 30% storm chance during the day tomorrow. The breakdown goes like this. You'll see those near normal temperatures, upper 80s to near 90 as we head through the week into next weekend. That 30% storm chance during the day tomorrow comes again in the afternoon as clouds increase. Temperatures top out in the mid to upper 80s. All in all, kind of a near normal day once again. Carbon copy of today, really.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Well, jot this down for your next home remodel, maybe. A see-through shower?
What do you think about that? We'll tell you about this home renovation project on the way.
This is a Wave 3 editorial with Vice President and General Manager Ken Salvaggi.
It is mind-numbing to realize that folks now in their 60s went through high school at a time when nearly 2/3 of African Americans couldn't vote. They also couldn't attend the same schools, use the same public bathrooms, or go to the same restaurants as Caucasian Americans. Reverend Martin Luther King's civil rights leadership, encompassing his historic I Have a Dream speech 50 years ago this month in Washington, D.C. in front of 250,000 people live and millions more on television, helped change that. But his dream of judging people based on the content of character instead of color of skin, dissolving ghettos and uplifting the poor remain a dream still for many. There will be another march on Washington in a few days, and an African-American president will be the featured speaker. On some levels, much has changed, but integrating our country and extending rights to all only partially tells the story of the reality of where we stand today. African Americans nearly double the national average in lacking jobs and living in poverty. About 25% of African American families live below the poverty line, but that is better than the 41% in the mid-1960s. They make up 37% of the prison population, despite making up just 14% of the total population. King's passionate plea that opportunity and freedom are ideals for all Americans rings as true now as it ever has, and his push for better jobs, health, housing, and health care for all is as urgent now as it was 50 years ago. Sorely needed now is more strong, inspirational leaders who challenge the status quo forcefully, unafraid to speak up, be heard, and affect change.
If you'd like to respond, go to wave3.com and click on editorials, or send your response to this address.
The design process was very easy. I was able to go into Builder Surplus and talk to someone, and they put that dream on paper.
They just had a lot of suggestions for you.
Great ideas.
I love the kitchen, I love the design, I like the feeling of the house.
You always look in the magazines, you see these pictures, and that is exactly what I wanted.
Freedom from poor design at Builder Surplus. Find us on the web at buildersurplus.us.
Only at Fazoli's can you dig into our crowd-pleasing pizza bake pastas for just $3.99. Take your pick of our savory pizza bake ziti or pizza bake spaghetti, made fresh to order and priced at just $3.99. Only for a limited time. So beat the crowd and hurry in today. Only at Fazoli's.
Hey, Kentuckiana. In addition to their townhouse. Well, those are the people who live nearby. The mood of There You Go has since changed because the neighbors got a look at this see-through shower. Those aren't blinds. That's the whole shower right there. Glass walls, no curtains at all.
I don't think it's appropriate, especially in a neighborhood where a lot of kids go to school just down the block.
I feel bad for the neighbors, I think, just because depending on who lives there, you know.
I certainly wouldn't mind having a look. Depends on who's taking the shower.
Well, it's not clear yet if the owners have moved in, but it's also not clear why they would want that shower in the first place.
I don't know if this is one of the times you say, don't drop the soap, you bend over. Never mind.
Please just don't use the shower.
No emails, please. Wave 3 News at 6 is straight ahead.
Really couldn't come at a better time. These Chevys are moving fast.
I'll take that Malibu.
Yeah, excuse me. The Equinox in Atlantis Blue is mine.
I was here first. It's mine.
I called about that one. It's mine.
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 It's mine. It's not. It's mine.
Better get going. It's Chevy Model Year End event.
The Chevy Model Year End event. The 13s are going fast. Time to get yours right now. Get this great lease on a 2013 Chevy Cruze LS for around $149 a month.
I started going to
Wave 3 News.
And thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Scott Reynolds. Shannon Colgan is off tonight. If you live near an abandoned property, no doubt you're seeing green, and a lot of it. Wave 3 News reporter Scott Adkins wanted to know why one property is so bad the weeds are taller than most of the people living in that area. He's live along Northwestern Parkway in Portland, and Scott tells us the city spends more than $2 million every year to mow those overgrown eyesores. And how does that happen? Well, there have been ongoing...
Neighboring manicured landscaping.
I just think the city should come by.
Tassels taller than an NBA player.
It's so high you can't even see.
2613 Northwestern Parkway. Weeds so overgrown, neighbors won't even go near it. Angie Thompson doesn't have much of a choice. It's 2 doors down.
The mosquitoes are just awful.
It's just one of 1,100 abandoned properties throughout the metro.
We get nothing from the city.
Neighbors like Angie Thompson and Betty Villier wonder why the city would let a property get to this.
And I'm hoping that this might do something.
I don't blame them. You know, I mean, if you're living next to some place that has that type of problem, you know, it's frustrating.
When a complaint is made, the Department of Codes and Regulations checks it out and opens a case if need be. If city personnel can't track down an owner, mowing crews will be dispatched, but that could take weeks or even months. Director Jim Mims says sending Metro services to mow private property is a last resort.
It's kind of painful, and all I would say is that, you know, we understand a bit about what you're going through, and we're working to try to get it resolved as quickly as we can.
An explanation Villier and Thompson say they've heard before.
There's vacant houses everywhere down here. You know, they have to belong to someone. They have to.
Mayor Fisher's office recently created a vacant and abandoned property leadership team to reduce cases such as the one you just saw. You can report eyesores anytime by calling 311. You will be asked to leave a message and an address.
Well, some folks headed out. You're going to need the umbrella down to our south near Hillview, just across the border over in parts of Bullitt County. Got it down to start at Male High School today very slowly following a terrible accident that happened on June 12th. It left her with a fractured skull and badly broken leg and wrist. And John is here now to update us on her condition and preview a special report that we've got here airing tonight at 11 o'clock on an ordeal that may change all of our perspectives on the little milestones in life.
Yeah, in a flash, Summer turned from vacation to rehabilitation, from intensive care, skull fracture, bleeding brain injury, badly broken leg and wrist through the surgeries, to many graduations, from a bed to a wheelchair to a walker to crutches to a walking boot. The 14-year-old who was hit trying to cross Hurstbourne Parkway got to cross the parking lot today for her first day of school. Her freshman friends waited inside Male High until she pulled up, and then they ran out there to surprise her even before she could start limping in. There they go. There was a time for a long time where it didn't look like she'd be able to try to go to school like her friends. Endless doctor visits and tests for brain damage and delicate monitoring of 2 rods holding a leg together. But she was cleared by doctors to go back to school today with some help getting around the packed high school. And it occurred to us at a time when many of us start taking the back to school experience for granted that this might be a good opportunity to show you some things, show you why you need to value the small steps of progress and value the ability to even go back to school. Remind you how lucky we are to have skilled doctors and so many generous and caring people in the community when others are going through their darkest hours. Well, from before sunrise to almost midnight every day, Scott and I are reporting the terrible accidents that changed lives, people who went through what my family just went through and weren't as lucky, and people who are going to go through something like this before back to school next year. An important but kind of an outside-the-box story that we're airing tonight at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. A lot of people have seen it already in our newsroom. You know, I think that's the one fear parents always have. They're getting on the bus or they're driving, that their kids are going to get in an accident. Right. And you know, she was hit crossing the street, and anytime there's brain damage, you're worried not even today, but down the road. What's the prognosis? What are doctors telling you?
She just did testing for brain damage at Frazier a couple of weeks ago, and the test results aren't final yet, but the doctor said she's good. She's nothing, no red flags, so all that part of it's good. It's just really the leg right now, but very lucky.
Yeah, and a lot of people who were at that scene can't believe she survived.
People stayed around praying for an hour and a half after the ambulance cleared. They thought, it was going to be a worse outcome, yeah.
Wow. Thanks, John. Well, we're glad she's back in school.
Thanks,
and
Scott.
I know she'll do well.
Yep.
Think of parades, floats, bands, fancy cars maybe come to mind, right? Well, that's what you typically expect to see.
Sure. Well, a Wave 3 News viewer contacted us saying that his group wanted to be part of the Heartland Festival in the Park Parade in Elizabethtown this weekend. But he says he was turned away because they don't fit the festival image. Wave 3 News reporter Myra Ansari has the story tonight.
The Sinister Tombs Haunted House in Eastview says that they haven't been able to take part in the parade that kicks off the festival since 2011. The festival says there's a reason for that. There isn't a lot of traffic on Meeting Creek Road in Hardin County. So if you haven't been out here, you probably haven't heard of the Sinister Tombs Haunted House.
As I say, we've got a lot of stuff where we're working on building new.
Marvin Skaggs runs the place.
We opened up in 2001.
Oh, okay.
It's probably easier to get into the vampire room.
One of the main ways he gets the word out that this place exists.
We try to get in every parade we can.
Parades like the Heartland Festival in the Park in Elizabethtown. It's been around for more than 30 years. The family-friendly event draws thousands to Hardin County. Skaggs says he promoted his haunted house at the parade from 2001 through 2011. He says his people have been dressed in their spooky costumes for years. In 2010, he said parade officials told him to tone down the scariness because some children at the parade got scared. He says he did. Were kids scared?
No, we had kids coming up and taking pictures with us. We had the devil riding in the back of the hearse, and we had the Undertaker. That was the only scary costumes we had.
Last year when Skaggs tried to take part in the parade, he says he was told he couldn't, and the same thing happened this year. He shared this letter from parade officials that says his entry is too scary and doesn't promote the theme of the festival, which is my hometown. Skaggs says it's upsetting to him because money generated from the haunted house goes to upkeep, and he gives back to local charities.
We were down about 500 people last year compared to the year before.
We contacted Elizabethtown events coordinator Sarah Vaughn. She told us to her knowledge the entry could be flexible, but Sinister Tombs would still include the scary characters or some type of tie-in to their haunted house. That's why they were denied. Skaggs says he even offered to have his group be dressed as superheroes and leave the scariness behind to be a part of the parade. And Skaggs says he plans on appealing the denial. The city of Elizabethtown says they have plenty of Halloween-themed events in October that Sinister Tombs can be a part of. From Hardin County, Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
Thanks, Myra. And we want to know what you think. Should that haunted house be able to take part in the Heartland Festival Parade? Share your thoughts on the Wave 3 News Facebook page. One thing we do know, it's always a popular event. Everybody loves to go down to that.
Yeah, especially the Wave 3 storm tracking team. The weather tour kicks off its fall season there.
It was packed last year when we were there, so we're taking the RV back down again. We'll be out there at 10 o'clock in the morning this Saturday.
Nice.
So,
you better dial up some good weather for it, too.
You know,
You've got a personal stake.
It's going to be nice. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be bright and sunny, but a little bit on the hot side. When you know, we add on more 90s as we get closer to fall. That's the way it goes around here. Yes, of course, the State Fair is still going, too. That's why. All right, here's the latest on the Fifth Third Bank SkyTrack network of cameras. This is the top of the Sheridan right now. We've had some rainfall in front of this the past 15 minutes. It's drying out now, but kind of a creepy looking sky out there at the moment because those downpours mix in with that sunset now developing. 76 is the current temperature in the Louisville area. Let me show you the downpours I'm talking about. First off to the west, I want to take you across areas of Breckenridge County, pretty close to Stephensport. These are very small little downpours in Breckenridge County, nothing too large at all. Get you into the city of Louisville. We've got a few more